Yeah. So, Whoopi Goldberg is back.
Yes, she is.
What did I last see her in? Ghost?
It feels like that, innit?
It does.
It feels like that.
What's the last thing Whoopi was in?
Bloody hell.
Jumping Jack Flash. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Jumping Jack Flash.
Yeah.
Colour purple.
Yeah.
Colour purple.
I mean, she must have been in some... I know, obviously, she's concentrating more on her talk show stuff.
Yeah.
You know, for all the guys in the UK, like us, she's on... what's it called? What's that talk show she's on?
No.
I don't know.
It's like Loose with Women in America.
Yeah, in America. Yeah.
You know,
but,
their version of it.
She's, you know, she's obviously concentrated on that. She's one of the main players on that. Which, you know, that's why it's surprising to hear that she's now going to be part of an ensemble cast for a film about the murder of Emmett Till. So Emmett Till, if you guys know, back in the day, I think in the 50s or 60s, was a young black boy, who was murdered by racist white people because he supposedly whistled at a white woman, which the white woman in question then actually admitted before her death not too long ago that didn't happen.
When did she admit it?
It was just before her death. Just a few years ago.
Oh, wow.
This happened in the 50s, wherever. Just before her death, she admitted it.
Why?
I don't know.
Why
you asking me? Like, I don't know. Ask her.
Why is she doing it now? You know why? She's going to meet a maker. That's why.
Yeah.
You're going to meet your maker.
You're going to meet your maker. You got to answer for this.
When you think about it, yeah, just quickly.
Yeah.
Say like the 50s, like times were different. They were different. So she's seen the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. She's seen the progression and the integration.
Well, you think she's been changed?
No, but what I'm saying is the guilt might have got more over years.
It's quite possible.
And made it more difficult. If things were like the 50s, now, I don't think she would give two shits.
Probably not.
But I'm just saying, she's probably seen a lot.
Yeah.
When she was in the 50s, you're going into the shop, there was the white guy there, the white milkman, the white postman, the white this, So 60s, 70s, 80s, everyone started changing the demographics. So right at the end, she's like, he was innocent. Because she knows she going to hell.
Oh yeah.
And you don't even have to believe in God. She's going to somewhere.
This is part of a massive ensemble cast, but obviously Whoopi Goldberg is the most famous name out of this. This report comes from Variety, and I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read...
make sure you don't.
Okay, relax. Till tells the story, Till's going to be the name of the film. Till tells the story of Mammy Till Mobley, chronicling her decision to have an open casket at Emmett's funeral and allowing Jet magazine to publish David Jackson's funeral photos in order to ensure people everywhere saw the true horrors of her son's murder. The decision from the grieving mother was a galvanizing moment that led to the creation of the civil rights movement. Goldberg is set to portray Till's grandmother, Alma Carthan. It's... I think a lot of people know what that article was referring to when they talk about the funeral photos. I mean, the boy looked like the elephant, man. And I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm just telling you what the guy looked like. You can Google the pictures and see for yourself. They beat that boy like he was nothing. Like he was literally a piece of shit on his shoe.
But he was to them.
Yeah.
Like he really was to them. Yeah. That's really how they saw him.
Obviously, I think for both of us, it's just hard to comprehend living in a world where you could be put to death for whistling at a white woman. Obviously, we live in a completely different time now, but that's why it's just, I just can't I can't get my brain around that. I'm glad I can't, because
not that we can whistle at any woman now.
You get what I'm saying.
But
it's not something that you'd put someone to death over.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he didn't even do it.
No,
he didn't even do it. That's the messed up part about it. He didn't even do it, and they beat this boy like he was, just nothing. Because to these kind of people, that's how black people were to them.
Nothing.
You know, nothing in the 50s. We just, inconveniences that they have to look at.
Yeah.
Someone stealing their oxygen. That's how they looked at black people a lot of people did, especially in the South.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. I'm glad things have changed, because I don't think I'd live very long if I don't think both of us would. If that was still the case.
But that's because we got that mentality. We would have been conformists. We wouldn't have conformed. No, not conform, but I'm saying
I would have been out there with the Black Panthers. I would have been out there with the Black Panthers.
Yeah. I'm
not saying but I know you would have been as well. That's why I said I don't think we'd live very long. Because we wouldn't have it. We just would. We're not them kind of people. No. We wouldn't have it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I encourage a lot of people to just Google that picture, and it's going to be slightly upsetting, but I would encourage you to Google just to make you remember where we've been, because I feel like a lot of people.
It weren't that long ago.
And I feel like a lot of people forget where we've come from. And I feel like when you forget where we've come from, it leads to making the same mistakes in the future.
A bit of complacency,
right.
A bit of right.
Exactly. Right. And so I always encourage you to look at those pictures and to see where we've come from, where a boy, I can't remember how old he was, but I don't think he was older than 10.
He was a young boy.
He wasn't older than 10.
Yeah.
Just beat to death, where his face looked like the Elephant Man. That's why his mum asked Jet Magazine to take that picture of him in the casket with. And remember, so his face, he was in the casket, which means the Undertaker or whoever is it, I can't remember the name, the job.
It'd be a mortician, isn't it?
Is it who fixes them up for
does the embalming and
right.
Yeah.
So that's him as a fixed up. So imagine how he looked before the guy fixed him up. Do you know what I mean? Imagine how he looked before the guy fixed him up. Because his face was messed up in the casket.
Yeah.
It is upsetting, but at the same time, I would encourage you guys to look at it and see where we've come from. I'm glad they're making a film about this, actually. I think it's a long time. They should have done this a long time ago. What do you feel? How do you feel about it?
I'm in two minds.
Really?
I'm in two minds.
What about them making a film about it?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that?
I'm always in two minds about this, was it 7 years a slave or what was that? What was that?
12 years.
12 years a slave.
Yeah. But why?
Because first of all, it's this is when black people start getting noticed, and they'll get an Oscar or a Grammy or something for these kind of slave stuff. But they're not going to get it for their creative stuff or positive stuff.
Okay. You know what? You've got a good point there.
Yeah.
And you've touched on something that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time, which is, why is it that when we talk about black people in history, we never go back to the glory days when we were kings and queens? For instance, I hear that Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler want to make a King Mansa Musa film, who was a lot of people speculate was the richest man ever. Right? Why can't we do a film? Why are films like that not being made? Why are films not being made about the creation of Haiti, which is the only country to fight and win against their oppressors, the slave owners, which were French.
Yeah.
Why aren't films being made about that? I really like that you said that.
Yeah.
Because that's always been my thing. When you talk about black people's history, you always want to go to slavery. That's the only thing in our history where we have for instance, Black Panther touched on the female warriors at the Dora Milaje. That actually came from the Dahomey Amazons. They call them Amazons, which is funny because every time you see Amazons now, you see white women, right? But the Dahomey Amazons were from Benin, and they were the major force in pushing back the colonialist French in Benin. The French were scared of fighting them. Right. They were vicious. They were chopping them off, putting their heads on things like they were vicious. And it's funny how no one, because I'm just telling facts here. The Western world like to think that they're ahead when it comes to like women's rights and so on and so forth. You've got to remember there were queens and women warriors in Africa when women in the Western world were just considered property. They weren't even allowed to vote, but yet we had women warriors who were like frontline warriors. We had women queens. So I think it's very, very, I think it's they're not taking responsibility for telling the full truth. And I think that's what lets a lot of black people down, because they don't know their history and they don't know their full history. But yeah, you make a very good point. Yeah, you make a good.
And the other thing is, it's like my other gripe with it is just that I don't know if I can pay my money, go to the cinema for an experience, because I like to escape. That's what cinema's about for me. To go somewhere to be upset.
Do you know what?
Do you know what I mean? And that's not like any particular. That's not just because they're black, or
because I got the same from Schindler's List. I'm not Jewish.
Or if you ever saw The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, did you ever see that film?
No.
Right, about concentration camps.
Right, you see what I'm saying? Yeah.
I can't. I don't.
It's not just a black thing.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
I don't want to go there.
But then again,
there are people that need to know.
Yes.
But I do know.
Yeah, but then you're just talking from your perspective.
No, yeah. See, it's selfish of me, but I'm just talking from my perspective.
I feel I get 100% where you're coming from.
And I do watch these things. Yeah. But it has to be the right time for me.
Yes.
Just because it's at the cinema, I'm not going to go there. But there'll be a time I'm at home and it's like, right, I'm ready now. And I'm going to watch it. And I won't shy away from any of it. Yeah.
I 100% where you get come from. I 100% get you. Because, for instance, we talk about Detroit with Real Polter. Yeah. I can only watch that film once. Yeah. I came out of the cinema so mad. Because, that's a story where in the end they get away with it. Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you who was madder than me that watched the film with me, and you'll be laughing. Damien. Okay. Damien Ashley, who's also one of the gym rat pack. He watched it with me. He's a white guy and he was mad as hell. He was madder than me. So I think it affects a lot of people in the way that you said, and because of that, I can only watch that film once because it just puts me in a mood I don't want to be in. Same with Schindler's List. It's not just about black people. Schindler's List. I can only watch that once. I've only watched that once. I can't watch that again. Fantastic film. It just puts me in a mood I don't want to be in. Yeah. And it's these. I get 100% where you're coming from, but then again, you have to look at it like I said, history needs to be told. Yeah. But I feel balance. That's true, and that's why is the balance. That's why I agree with you. But they just need to make more of the films that me and you were just talking about. Yeah. About the successes of black people in history. For instance, I'll give you an example. We all know about the Great Wall of China. Do you know that before that was a Great Wall of Benin that was even bigger than that? You didn't even know that, did you? I'm gonna say no. Well, there you go. Not a lot of people know that. Do you know what I mean? But again, this is not told. This is why a lot. What happened to the wall? It got destroyed by the colonialists who came there. Oh, they destroyed it. Okay. There's still remnants of that wall in Benin, but you don't hear about it no more. Okay. Do you see what I'm saying? This is why a lot of Westerners believe that Africa in general is backwards and this and that, and not to get into a long story because this could be a few hours discussion, but if anyone knows the story, I mean, there's a lot of if you go on YouTube, there's a lot of white professors of universities who tell you the history of Africa, and they tell you that if Africa was left alone, they would be the forerunners in the world. Okay, because let's get it right. all the natural resources come from Africa. There's a saying in the world that whoever controls Africa controls the world. You know? So, yes, I would, you know, like, as you said, there needs to be balance. I do think this film needs to be made. And I want it to be graphic.
Yeah, and
I want it to be graphic.
Yeah, well, it has to be.
But at the same time, as you quite rightly pointed out, we need to start getting away from only showing slavery or, you know, just black people from history not
oppression,
doing oppression.
Yeah.
We have a rich history. You know, that slavery is a tiny slice of Africa's history, you know, and I feel, as you said, there needs to be balance and some of that needs to be told, you know. But saying that, I will watch this film. I'm probably only going to be able to watch it once.
Yeah. It's not when you sit down with your popcorn and...
Yeah.
Do you want to watch that film again? Which one? The one where the youth gets banged up?
Yeah. I'm probably only going to be able to watch it once.
Yeah.
Although I will say, an exception to that
Django.
Jude. No, that's a bit different. Judas and the Black Messiah. Have you watched that?
You know what? I saw a piece of it and I fell asleep.
You need to watch it. You need to watch it.
But
I will say, even though that was sad, for some reason, I don't have a problem watching that again and again.
Okay.
For some reason, even though that was quite sad and, you know, racism and all of that, I think maybe because Fred Hampton was all about the Rainbow Coalition. So he was getting, and that's why they wanted him dead, because he was getting Latinos together. He was getting poor white people together. They were all getting together, bro. And they were like, well, if this, we're done.
If this
you know
happens,
what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah. So I think maybe that could be it. But anyway.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Do you want to see this again?
Do you know about the history of Emmett Till? Do you know about the case? And do you want to see this on film? And what do you think about showing Africa's history apart from slavery? Again, slavery is only a small slice of it. What do you think about films showing, you know, how the oppressors got beaten as well? Malai? Let us know in the comments what you think.